Prolific? Yeah, throw her in there. She plays a great crackhead Jew in Jungle Fever.
I don't know if you put her in the top-notch annals of history, but I mean, that scene in Swordfish where she showed it all, that in of itself.
It's Bobo. Sing and hug with Bobo. And then, like, when Rocko turns his head, Bobo steals Rocko's pocket.
Yeah. And then Rocko somehow gets, like, locked in a crib like he's in jail. But then, like, some hippo lady just comes and, like, what I can only assume because we cut, molests him, Steve. I don't know what happens.
Happened in the 90s.
There is a time in my life where I didn't have a drop of alcohol for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then I turned 9 and it all went downhill from there.
Hey-oh. Yes.
I can do it like a Ice Cube with the G to the E to the T. Now here it comes, Duke. I play the game where there's no rules. Homies on the cut say I'm a fool cause I drink brew.
Quick to bust a cap on the eyes, bro. Bushwick on the go with a flow to the eyes show.
Here I come. Willie D, that's me. Fifth Ward, South Park, and South Central, G. Nah, I better not do that. St. Ides.
Happened in the 90s was streaming for a live studio audience. This is Steve G and Mad G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your tapes of Soap Dish and your posters of Hootie and the Blowfish, because my mom's playing tricks on me.
At night I can't sleep. I toss and turn. I thought you were going into it, Steve. I was waiting, but
I sit alone in the four-corner room staring at candles. Well, today, my friend, we're talking all things July 9th in the 90s. This one time at band camp, starting off in 1991, the Ghetto Boys would release We Can't Be Stopped. Man, iconic album cover.
this has to be probably top 10 album covers of all time for not even just like hip hop. This is just them capturing life, honestly.
A real moment, man. Bushwick Bill actually did get shot in the eye, and it was Jay Prince, the owner of Rap-A-Lot. He was like, this is perfect. And what a genius move.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cutthroat, but as long as Bushwick Bill's down, I mean, you can't argue. And it is. That's just thinking on your toes, honestly.
Totally, man. And this album shows, the album cover shows that, like, these guys were different, man. I remember as a kid looking at Ghetto Boys like, this is scary. I don't know if I should be listening to this. Like, this was like my uncle and my dad's kind of like, this is for adults. They're talking grown up stuff.
I think my introduction to them in general was Bushwick Bill being on Martin, to be honest with you, as a kid. So I didn't like know about them too much until later in life. But I mean, Mind Playing Tricks on Me, not only is it one of the most iconic songs of this time, but the sampling that's been done off of that song, I mean, it's like an everlasting thing at this point.
The guys themselves, they kind of spooked me out as a kid. Like Bushwick Bill, this little guy. This year, Halloween fell on the weekend. Me and the Ghetto Boys were trick-or-treating. Robbing little kids for bags. Like, and then Scarface, man, I always looked at him as like this mysterious guy from the South. They call him the King of the South. And then I remember the time me, you, and Jordan saw him coming out of Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, just looking like a family man. Just joking and laughing. Like, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was cool, honestly. I just always knew I liked Scarface a lot, and I never knew how prolific the dude was. I just knew him as him. I didn't know of all this other stuff he was intertwined with. This is 91, Steve?
91.
I mean, this is one of the top albums of that year. For real. Like, I didn't even like it, but just this song, at least, this single. I mean, was it number one? I'm on Wikipedia right now. I should know this.
It's the one that brought him to the forefront. I know that for sure.
Oh, they got up there. In hip hop, they got to 5, which is, I mean, that's great. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like having an everlasting song that most people would kill for, and I think is probably one of the most memorable. because even I know about this song and I don't know about the group. But yeah, dude, Bushwick Bill did scare me a lot, though. A lot of confidence in a small package.
Also in 1991, the Boys in the Hood soundtrack is released.
The Ice Cube song in this, there's a lot of stuff in this that is like the vintage and like sound of what I loved from 90s hip hop, which makes sense because it's on this soundtrack. But when I think of movie soundtracks that are like hip hop centric, I think of a lot of other ones other than this. I mean, the movie's incredible, but the Ice Cube song to me is top notch. And Tony's on it, so love that.
Just me and you, just me and you, just the two. This is one of my favorite from them, man. And the Tevin Campbell song, like listening to these tracks, man, I'm remembering the scenes in which they played. Tevin Campbell track was Just Ask Me To.
That's kind of what I love about listening to albums, like soundtrack albums, when it was like this, when there was like stuff in the movie actually too. And this is a dope soundtrack. But like I said, on the bookshelf of top 5 hip hop soundtracks of the 90s, I'm not going to try to name them like off the top of my head, but I feel like this is top 10, but not top 5.
Also, Growing Up in the Hood, performed by Compton's Most Wanted. The beat to that.
There's a lot of like funky, like Ice Cube beats in this and like sounds and the whole soundtrack, not just his song. That it's dope. I was definitely enjoying it.
1993, Different World is airing Season 6, Episode 20, Great Expectations. Terrell is expelled after he starts carrying a gun to class, but he and Dwayne attempt to convince the dean to give him one more chance. Oh, give me one more chance.
Can they just have a week where something crazy doesn't happen at this school? Every time we're checking in, Steve, there's a domestic violence, there's guns on. The gun thing going on, we'll talk about it, but it's just pretty blasé, to be honest with you.
It's a different world and where you come from.
This is the last season, Steve.
Yeah, man. And they went out with a bang, bang. And we start off with the classroom and Dean Davenport. She's talking to them about the civil rights movement and how Malcolm X and MLK had different approaches, but the same goal, respect.
But they have to, and this is something, I mean, Steve, there's no way to get like half-ass this like I would have in college or in high school, but they have to get into pairs and be either Malcolm X or Martin Luther King that are talking to each other and basically using their quotes. They need to replicate this conversation, this historical meeting that these two guys had, and recreate it using the quotes of both dudes, because it was not actually recorded, their meeting.
Yeah, and Terrell, one of the underclassmen, he wants to be Malcolm X. And Dean Davenport, she grills him like, okay, like, do you really want to be Malcolm X because of his message, or is it because it's a trendy thing lately where he's featured in a Spike Lee movie? It made him second guess, like, maybe I'm just, trying to ride the wave.
I mean, he's got all the gear, Steve. All the stuff at Hot Topic or wherever you get the Malcolm X gear.
X'd out.
So she doesn't, Dean, what's her last name, Steve?
Davenport.
Dean Davenport.
That's Will Smith's aunt. You can't fool me.
She makes Terrell, she's like, you're not going to be Malcolm X. You're going to have to be Martin Luther King. So he's with Dorian. These are not characters I'm fully familiar with, Steve. I'm more familiar with the older cast.
OG.
But
yeah,
it's cool, man. So tough. You're not half-assed in this assignment.
We cut to the student union and we see Kim and her boyfriend Spencer coming out of the room, and Gina and Lena, they're feeling Spencer.
He's a little hot Jamaican tenderoni, Steve. They keep coming out of rooms and it's like, damn, what are you two up to? Him and Kim, everybody thinks they're out banging away all the time, but they're studying, Steve. They're not doing any tawdry stuff yet.
Her focus is on med school. And Spencer, you know who his sister is?
No.
Cheryl Lee Ralph. He's Michael Ralph. And his sister is that fine ass teacher from Abbott Elementary.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's his sister.
That's his sister, the OG, like the old school teacher. She's like no nonsense one. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, good genes, but yeah, Spencer's really into Kim, Steve, like in a big way. He's not shy about it either. I mean, he's just telling everybody how much he loves this chick.
Yeah, he's very intentional, man. And then not too long after that, Charmaine and Terrell, they got ran down on as they're leaving the library. Charmaine, she's distraught, rightfully so. We find out that a group of guys rolled by them in a pickup truck and was just complimenting her ass. Well, you got a fat ass toots. Yeah, big juicy one too.
You got a fat ass toots. Yeah, big juicy one too.
And they apparently rolled down into a ditch and rolled off into a storm drain.
Yeah, they like ran him off the road by the description, but Charmaine's heated and everyone's concerned. But Terrell feels like a bitch, to be honest with you. That's the simplest way to say it. And he's trying to minimize it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like that bad. It was fine. Like, we'll get over it. But yeah, they almost got killed by a car of racist, or maybe not racist, but it was just a bunch of white dudes. Terrell's in his feelings, Steve. He's not liking this.
And they ask him if you filed a police report. But why? Man, if that's what y'all about to do, just leave me out of it. So he takes off. And they're like, man, what the?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, Terrell. Like, let's just file a police report. But he's out, Steve. He's freaking out of here.
We cut to Whitley, and she's talking to Charmaine, isn't she?
Well, at first she's ordering a bunch of sticky buns off of old man cafeteria, dude. And then, Mr. Gaines. And then, because she's a teacher and she's talking about having hyper students, so she's doing her thing. But there is a funny joke she talks about, like the students are a little wishy-washy and don't know a lot, so they're doing a mural. And the students, they're working hard. They've finished a few people that are supposed to be like notable, like African Americans in history, and they've done Sojourner Truth, makes sense, and they get Frederick Douglass too, makes sense. But then Halle Berry, Steve, which, I mean, I guess she's an Oscar winner,
first of her kind, man. She's prolific. Yeah, throw her in there. She plays a great crackhead Jew in Jungle Fever.
I don't know if you put her in the top-notch annals of history, but I mean, that scene in Swordfish where she showed it all, that in of itself.
Those titties are prolific.
Absolutely. Well, actually, Terrell comes in first, and she tells him that she's sorry that Charmaine and him had to go through that. Terrell just kind of being evasive about it still. And Charmaine is at the police station filing a report at this point. So there's just some tension about it. And again, Terrell's just kind of, you can tell something's up.
Not only that, but Whitley found out through Gina, who's fabricating the story. It's like, yeah, they almost got shot at. And then Terrell, he pulled out his gun, and then they had a standoff. Yeah.
There was like horses that came out of nowhere with little unicorn horns and stuff. But Terrell does say something that's like, I guess, vaguely threatening, where when Whitley's talking to him, he's like, you know what? I'm adopting Malcolm X's philosophy of vigorous action and self-defense. So he says that, and he's like, bye. So I don't know if I'd immediately be like, man, I think that guy's packing heat. I don't know if I'd feel like he was dangerous at that point. But Terrell, he's looking for some satisfaction.
Vengeance. And now we cut to the class. Lena and Charmaine, they're having a debate. Lena, she's the one that's Malcolm X, and Charmaine is MLK. And then things get personal, because I guess they're roommates. Like, bitch, you always leave clothes in the dryer.
Why there always pubic hairs all over the shower and sink and whatnot? Nasty. Yeah, well, this is what happens in most debate with younger people, Steve. I saw this happen in high school, where it went from like a debate to like, your mama's fat.
Your coochie stink.
But then Gina is telling Terrell and Charmaine's like story yet again in her like crazy way, where now she's like, and then there was like a bazooka that got shot, and this guy flew out of nowhere on like some sort of like a tether system or something. It was nuts. Yeah. Terrell shot him.
Then the cop showed up and he shot them too. Terrell and Dorian, they're about to go up and give a debate, but I guess class is ended now. Dean, she tells them to stay behind. I don't know how she found out that the gun
That's what
was.
he was so blasé. I think she just saw it in like because he has it like tucked on his waist in the back. So I guess he like
Yeah.
turned around or because weren't they trying to like make him put a coat on or something? So maybe when he was doing that or something, she saw it. But I was like,
Yeah.
damn, that was pretty slick because everyone leaves and she's like, hold on 1 second, just like pulls it out of his waist. I was like, damn.
Yeah, the jacket's not the problem. This is the problem. But then Dorian thinking on his toes, like, oh no, that's a gun, but he was using it as a prop. You know what I mean?
Terrell's like, I mean, it's not even loaded, Dean. You need to shut up, Terrell. Just like chill. Don't try to be saying that kind of stuff. But the Dean does not care. The Dean's pissed off, shocked, and right then and there is like, you know what this got you? You expelled. That's not going to work for our boys, Steve. Terrell, he needs this. He needs school.
And then we cut back to Kim and Spencer. They have one more lab final and then they're through. It's like, what are we going to do now? Well, we go to Negril, play in the hot sandy beaches, and then we'll go to Kingston, man, where you'll meet your mother-in-law.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
irie.
This guy wants to show her all of Jamaica and even his mother, Steve, her future mother-in-law. Spencer is constantly not only saying they're going to get married, but he's asking her to marry him constantly too, Steve. Because he does it right here and there. Like, he just throws it out there. He's so in love with this chick. I thought when they were like, what are we going to do for the rest of this next semester or whatever, I thought it was going to get pretty nasty, Steve. I thought we were going to see Stella get her groove back.
Mr. Nasty Time. And now we cut to Dwayne's crib. He's talking to Dean Davenport, trying to talk her out of expelling Terrell. Nah, I'm not trying to hear any of that. He's too dangerous. But look, this isn't like him. He's a good kid. And then while they're talking, Terrell and Dorian show up. They're like, whoa, snap, Dean Davenport, we were looking for you and you weren't in your office. Well, you see why, dummies.
And Terrell, he tries to reason with her. She's not hearing it. Dwayne asks Terrell straight up, like, where'd you get the gun at? Like, I came from a rough place. There's no need for this stuff. Like, where'd you get the gun at? And Terrell basically is like, when you were young, maybe you didn't need a gun, but when I was young, I needed this gun. So it's like that, basically. He's like, I've had a gun. This is my gun. So I felt threatened, and this is what I needed to feel secure, which...
Yeah, had it since junior high, and I didn't think I needed it until yesterday. Wait, what happened yesterday? Look, man, I just needed it. In school right now is the only thing I have going for me.
Yeah.
Dean Davenport lets him know like why she's so up in arms about this, because her 13-year-old nephew was shot and killed by someone who was trying to prove their manhood. Her nephew can't even experience manhood.
So we see why this is such a personal thing to her and why she has no leniency on it at all. So Terrell's screwed by all intents and purposes, it looks like. So we cut to Kim's dorm. Her, Spencer, and Whitley and Dwayne are having dinner together, and they're talking about this Terrell situation. It's kind of weird because they talk about how easy it is to get a gun right now. It's not that crazy this dude has a gun. You want a gun? And he could have reached off screen and pulled a gun in. I guess that's how easy it was. So some things don't change, but they're talking about this. While they're talking about that, weird segue, Spencer just shifts into a proposal, Steve.
They had like a preliminary toast to whatever, I guess a fruitful life and success to come. And then they had another toast that Spencer wanted to have. And he's like, here's to a woman I've never wanted to be without. Kimberly, will you be my wife? Right after that, Spencer calls her dad, telling her like, man, I love your daughter very much, sir. And I'm asking you for your blessing.
And this guy means business, Steve. Everybody knows. He hangs the phone up. We don't know what the father said necessarily, but it seemed positive. But then Kim picks the phone up after he hangs it up, and she thinks she's speaking to her mom because somebody's crying on the other end, but turns out her dad's in tears, Steve. He loves this guy. It's his dream come true.
Pops is talking her ear off, and she's like, "Look, I'll call you back. Bye." And Dwayne rushes Whitley out of there. So now it's just Spencer and Kim. It's like, look, I'm very real. I'm intentional. I'm very serious. And I was serious then. I'm serious now.
But Kim's not having it, Steve. She's in med school. She's committed to that. And she's like, you realize I can't make a decision right now until I finish med school. So I can't do it. But that's not a no, Steve. And that's all Spencer
It's
needed.
not.
He just needed to put his foot into the opening just to keep that door open, Steve. He'll get it.
That makes him so happy. Very irie.
Boy.
Much mercy.
There we go. So, not quite nuptials, Steve, but cut to class. We're back at Dean's class. We're in this assignment where everybody's doing the Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King quote thing.
They're having a class discussion, and Lena, she mentions that she actually agrees with Malcolm's approach by any means necessary. And then they basically downplaying MLK. Like, man, Malcolm, man, he was the one. He was the real one. And then Gina and her fine ass. I've always had a crush on Gina. She's still fine, by the way. But Gina, she cuts in and she knows her history. She was like, well, MLK, he spent more time in prison than his detractors. So he definitely put in the work.
Yeah, I think one of Lena's points is she says that Martin Luther King was chosen by like white dudes, basically.
White liberals. Yeah.
So, yeah, they're actually having like a decent discussion. And again, I would like to echo what Steve said. I think Jada Pinkett Smith is fine too, but Gina,
Oh, yeah.
good Lord. What's her name in real life, Steve?
AJ Sanders.
Hello, Toasty. Hell yeah. Which is, let's get back to the lesson, Steve. We can't just keep oogling women in this episode.
It's hard not to. And then Terrell, he shows up unannounced, and he just wants to finish his assignment, expelled or not. They cut into their Malcolm and MLK reenactment, and Dean Davenport's impressed. She's amazed, blows the class away, but it comes with some conditions. You're back in school, but you're under curfew. You must maintain a GPA of an A-, and you got to put in 20 hours a week at the rec center.
Cool. He's into it. He was the Malcolm X dude, came in and just pulled the perfect argument. He wowed the whole class, Steve.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that gun anymore, though. I'd be like, can I get my gun
Yeah. I've had it since junior high.
It costs a lot of money.
Also, Jennifer Lewis, man, like as an adult, I think she's sexy. As a kid, I was like, man, she's auntie. But like, man, the way she carries herself, her voice, it's kind of like the sister from News Radio. It's just the way you...
Well, even that chick you said, the lady from Abbott Elementary, too, it's all the same. It's just like a
sultry, grown-ass woman.
It's curvy. Smoky voice, too. I like that.
Jennifer Lewis.
Too, Steve. She'd instruct you a little bit in the ways.
Man.
She'd take you to class.
They all know what they're doing, man. On that same day in 1993, In the Line of Fire premieres. Secret Service agent Frank Harrigan couldn't save Kennedy, but he's determined not to let a clever assassin take out this president. Directed by Wolfgang Peterson, starring Clint Eastwood, John Malkovich, Rene Russo, Dylan McDermott, Gary Cole, and John Mahoney.
Oh, yeah. Mahone dog. Here's what I love about this movie, Steve. Everything but Clint Eastwood. Here's what I hate about this movie. Man. Clint Eastwood. Because it almost, you could spoof it so well because he's an old man. He's failed. He failed the Kennedys. He's still a Secret Service agent somehow. I don't understand that. And he's still working deeply into what I'm assuming is his 60s. I can't tell. But he's constantly like physically unable to do his job. Malkovich jumps a rooftop. He tries to almost bones it. Malkovich, the guy he's trying to chase, has to help his ass. so his old ass doesn't die. This isn't my favorite movie, Steve. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not a huge Clint Eastwood fan.
Yeah, we kind of went in depths about both of us not being big on Clint Eastwood, but I'm surprised that Clint Eastwood was in a movie that I actually appreciated. I actually watched this from beginning to end. I was apprehensive at first, like, man, it has Clint Eastwood. Do I drop it off the list? It's like, I just decided to watch it. And it's like, all right, I made it through this movie.
It's because I'm vintage
Malkovich.
That's it.
Dude. Malkovich, he plays a great R word, but damn it, he is a classic heel. He knows how to villain. He's actually the perfect villain in movies, man, because he doesn't go all out maniac savage. He takes the Jake the Snake cerebral approach.
Hell yeah.
And he really brings you into his mind games.
You know, when I killed those two guys by the river with that plastic gun, felt so good.
Plot twist, Malkovich is actually the good guy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. I just love how in this movie, he hasn't done anything, but he's on their radar, and he's like, I'm going to the president, man. Like, I'm just
straight
to
up
do it. So you can't stop me. You're old. What are you going to do?
I love it. Hating the president, I'm all here for that. I love you, Malkovich.
Hell yeah. Nice job, Johnny.
Yeah. The grossest part of this movie was Renee Russo making out with Clint Eastwood. Like, oh my God. I hope they gave her.
Though, like, Clint Eastwood 100 years old at this point because he was old in the 70s. Like, Dirty Harry, he looked old.
He's in his 90s.
Yeah, so that's gross. I bet Renee Russo really needed to take a nice swig of mouthwash after that. That tasted like old man.
Yeah, she drank the whole thing without spitting it out. Also in 1993, Weekend at Bernie's 2 premieres. After being accused of fraud, Larry and Richard retrieve Bernie's voodoo revived corpse to track down the money that Bernie had stolen and clear their names. Directed by Robert Klein, starring Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Silverman, Terry Kaiser, and Barry Bostwick.
You haven't deteriorated enough, Steve. They had to get this one in quick. 5 days after the original, they realized we still need that dead body. And God damn it if we don't need voodoo, too.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, it's a shitty sequel. And I don't understand. Well, I guess, man, we're not supposed to read into it too serious. But damn it, like, the corpse, like, they kind of rot here pretty quick.
Apparently in this, because I think they mentioned the smell at one point. They're just shoving this guy in luggage. They're taking him to freaking maybe Jamaica. I don't remember where they take him, where all this voodoo's happening. But they get him voodoo, so music reinvigorates his body at least.
Yeah,
he's just kind of dancing. The only scene of this movie that I liked, and this was like a joint and a half deep with like 2 edibles. He gets in like a fight with like this bro on the beach, and when he gets knocked down, he basically like starts twerking to get back up. And I would just
start humping the ground. Yeah,
I did that when I was a little kid, Steve, and he was just doing it on the beach.
Your girlfriend pillow, like, yeah, I remember those days, and I knew you were going to say that because that's my favorite part in the movie.
Dude, he was getting some samples. That's it.
Yeah, he got punched, turned around and slaps the guy, so the guy punches him again. Starts dry humping the sand, gets back up.
Doesn't he ends up dude's chick?
Yeah.
Ugh. This chick had sex with a dead dude, like that chick at the end of Clerks, bro.
Oh man,
she has a lot of issues, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she heard rigor mortis dick can last longer.
It never went down. But the weird thing was, whenever the music stopped, he stopped. So I just had to like put on some Rammstein on repeat. It was crazy.
And he was very cold.
Oh, dude. But yeah, I mean, they shout out to whoever got this funded because you made 2 of these pieces of shit. Jonathan Silver and that other guy, thank them, because I don't know why they had a career after this, but they did. And that's saying something.
Yeah. Shout out to those guys. In 1996, Rocko's Modern Life is airing Season 4, Episode 2, Pranksters, and From Here to Maternity. It's the ultimate April Fool's Day in O-Town as Rocko, Filburt, and Heffer try their best practical jokes on one another. And then Filburt's impending fatherhood is jeopardized by the Easter Bunny's fiendishly clever Lamaze class egg ring. Hilarity ensues.
Yeah, so the first one is the prank episode. And we start off at the Old Town Mall. And Filburt's working the fried meat on a stick. I don't know exactly what the thing is, Steve.
Stuff on a stick.
Yeah, so he's frying stuff up. Rocko and Hef come. And they throw a little April Fool's Day prank on Filburt. He falls for it. I don't remember what the prank was, but Filburt's not having it, Steve. This episode shows us Filburt has a rage inside of him that you don't want to tap into.
Well, they did the old grade school thing where it's like, oh man, look down here. Oh, I got your nose.
You son of a bitch. So they go to eat their meat on a stick in the food court, as you do, because you don't want to walk around with that and have people see. And Hef sees Rocco's love interest, Melba, sitting over there having some meat on a stick. And Rocco's like, oh, shit, dude. Come on. I can't do this right now. Of course, Hef, he's like, Melba, Dotson over here. But it's a prank, Steve. She's not there. April Fools.
Yeah. Maybe you'll give me some time. And then while he's laughing at Rocko, he's chewing on his stuff on a stick. Come to find out there's a rat.
Rubber rat. Let's put that on there, Steve, because it's not a rat. That could have given his boy plague. It's not that bad, but he got him, Steve. Got him.
And now Heffer's driving home, but Rocko asks him, like, hey, can we make a stop at the comic book store? So they go in there, and Rocko apparently has a letter from a month ago. It's from his grandmother, and she's coming to town. So now he needs to figure out how to pick her up from the airport.
Yeah. But you got to chill on these jokes, dude. This is my grandma. Not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Half's like, of course, dude. What would I... It's your grandma. What am I going to do? Granny Rocko? She's a saint. Hef's planning something, Steve. This guy's devious.
They gave a handshake, a promised handshake. And then we cut to the airport. As Heffer's waiting on Grandma, we hear these stomps. It's like Big Shirley's coming to town. We hear Grandma before we even see her. Rocko! Rocko!
Come here, Rocko. I mean, this woman's built, too. She's like the fridge. She's got her little walker thing, but she's also got a lot of demands. This woman is a demanding person. This is Martin's mother, Steve.
Because it looks like an awful lot like Rocko. Those Rocko genes run strong. She keeps calling him Rocko, but she's like, no, my name's Heffer.
She does call him Rocko a lot, but she's like, you've gotten so fat. So she's constantly calling him fat. They're driving. While they're driving, she actually just yanks the wheels, Steve. She's trying to end it all.
They drive off a cliff, and somehow, some way, they finally make it back to Rocco's. And she will not shut the fuck up this whole time. That whole ride, the pickup from the airport, that whole duration was her bumping her gums.
Why you smell? Why you so fat? She's making him feel bad, Steve, to the point where in that ride from the airport home, Hef's got 5 o'clock shadow. He's looking beleaguered. He's looking just disheveled. It's not a great experience, and he's doing the right thing here. But as he's kind of looking around, he's like trying to rest at Rocco's. He's looking at photos. He's thinking about Granny Rocko, and he's realizing to himself, you know what? I think that's Rocko in a wig. And he thinks he's onto the conspiracy, and now he's ahead of the conspiracy. So now he's planning his own double back on Rocko to get him before he can get got, Steve. Follow that chain of information.
I picked up what you were dropping. He sets up a booby trap with a rocket strap to it. He's like, hey, Grandma, why don't you come out here? He even has X marking the spot. And Grandma, she ends up stepping on the X.
But as he's looking, he sees Rocko coming home and realizes that that's not Rocko. That's Granny Rocko. And he's about to kill this old lady, Steve. So I think Rocko even comes in. He solemnly just starts crying like he's going to die and takes the rope, ties it around himself because he feels awful. and takes one for the team, I guess. I mean, he's just taking the punishment, Steve.
He gets launched throughout the house, ends up going outer space, all around the world, and he ends up back into Rocko's front lawn.
Yeah. I mean, he even went out of the solar system, Steve, through the sun, back through China, through the earth. He's seen it all.
China.
As he gets back, he's coming to, and Granny Rocko starts just laughing. It's an evil laugh, Steve. And then, to make it even more kind of horrifying, she starts ripping her face off. Come to find out, that's Filburt, Steve, in a Mission Impossible get up. That's not Rocko's grandma.
Filburt, he starts just gushing, man, and to the point where he damn near has a heart attack.
Gotcha. Got your ass. Filburt. I mean, this is a Filburt-centric episode, Steve. I love it. Filburt's almost now my favorite character on this show.
Really?
We share an inner rage that I think I like that. I like when and especially in this next one, we see Filburt trying to man up a little bit because he rages out, and I love that.
From here to maternity, and the guys, they're rushing to the hospital because Filburt, he's expecting his first child. The stork truck pulls up along them, and they got to race to try to get to the hospital before the stork truck for whatever reason. The stork truck is giving them a chase. They end up ramming into the truck, and they make it to the hospital, but the truck rams them when they part.
Yeah, I mean, no concern for the child, Steve. I mean, the stork truck has a baby on it, I'm assuming. I expect these storks to be flying. I don't like we got them just driving UPS vans. I don't respect that at all. But Filburt getting bitched out again. He's already on 10, Steve, like that lady in Kroger. But he gets there. We're at the hospital. And he sees the nurse bring out this big, beautiful egg, Steve. It's his baby. It's his egg.
Yeah. And his wife. I didn't even know Filburt had a wife.
Color me interested, Steve. Who is this beautiful woman?
Man, they drew a nice mouth on her. But yeah, she's coming out there in her wheelchair in the egg, and the wife has to stay there. So Filburt must look over the egg.
Because the wife's like a surgeon. She gives birth to this egg, gets up, and is like, I got to strap up. So you got to sit on this egg. You got to nurture it. This isn't just a female thing, Filburt. So Filburt's in charge. Cut to Filburt, and he's getting some baby shower gifts. You know, Rocko got him something sweet. Hef gave him a rake. I didn't get that. Maybe that'll help out. Now it's time to sit on the egg. And I don't know if anybody who's listening to this knows what Filburt looks like. He's a round gentleman, Steve, and it's hard for him to sit on an egg.
He's got that Hank Hill booty. He's like, man, what kind of father am I? I need a big, warm, soft behind to sit on this egg. And then he looks up and sees Heffer's donk.
Badonk, Steve. I mean, he's got that kind of ass I got. He's got that white boy, just badonkadonk. So that's supple enough to nuzzle an egg. Be a little concerned he might break it, but Filburt's not. That's a perfect ass. Hey, Hef, sit on my egg. Hef complies, Steve. This is a good friend.
Great ass. And now they're shopping for cribs. Heffer sees a dress, but Filburt sees a football shirt. Then Heffer, he brings out this beret and gay-ass French outfit.
Yeah, Filburt's like, my son ain't going to be no sissy like that. That's basically the thing. But Hef's like, look, I'm nurturing the baby. I know what this thing wants. So they're looking at cribs. Filburt looks at a nice, like, economical model. Kind of nice for a boy. Hef sees this crazy freaking, like, Donald Trump golden goose crib that looks crazy. But that's what the baby wants, Steve. But I like Filburt's like, my boy ain't going to sleep in no bird. You little piece of shit. He's getting pissed.
Get your ass back there and nurture your fat ass. Filburt is turning into a tyrant, man. And
he's a pimp. He only wants Hef around for the ass. You gonna do what you told. Don't make me raise up on you in public.
My son is my son. And there's like a spoof of Barney. He's like he's like the child-friendly little TV character, I guess. It's Bobo. Sing and hug with Bobo. And then, like, when Rocko turns his head, Bobo steals Rocko's pocket.
Yeah. And then Rocko somehow gets, like, locked in a crib like he's in jail. But then like some hippo lady just comes and like what I can only assume because we cut molests them, Steve. I don't know what happens.
Then we cut to like a daydream. Filburt, he's dreaming about playing catch with his son Turtle. But then we cut to Heffer, and he's daydreaming about doing some ballet with the daughter. Filburt, he wants to shave with his son. But then Heffer, he wants to have tea parties and shit.
TNT, Steve. It's about to blow. As they're shopping and this comes to like a head, Rocko notices there's like a Lamaze class that they're offering and is like, hey, all this arguing, like this is something we can all do. Let's get into this Lamaze thing. So they'd start doing these breathing things, and it's run by this bunny, Steve. And the bunny's like, close your eyes, relax. Everybody must relax. And then he just goes in, steals all the eggs, Steve.
Yeah.
Steals all.
It takes him back to this private room. There's a sign that says rabbits only room. So Rocko, the first time he knocks, he's like, look, this is for rabbits only. They close the door. Rocko knocks again. He's like, hippity hoppity, boom, bang.
He stretches his ears too, Steve. He has that ability. He morphs to look kind of like a rabbit. So he gets in and realizes this is some kind of like bootleg Easter Bunny
sweatshop,
kind of like meth lab type situation, almost like in Jingle All the Way where they were making like bootleg Turbo Man dolls. It's the same thing. All the bunnies making stuff on the assembly line just have bra and panties on. They can't wear any clothes. It's a whole thing.
It's like an assembly line. Rocko, he intercepts one of the eggs and he alerts all the parents. The parents rush in there like, man, what the fuck you got my child? So while that's going on, somehow they get arrested.
Yeah, because the cops come in. They're on to this bootleg Easter Bunny scam going on. They arrest Rocko because he looks like a bunny. All the bunnies get away, Steve, with the rest of the eggs. But they got theirs. They got Filbert's egg because it's gigantic. Because he'd be, you know, Filbert's packing, Steve. I don't know if you know what turtles be packing, but it's crazy.
Filburt is pissed. He's in jail. They try to steal his baby. Like now he's going back and forth with Heffer. Heffer's already had it. Did the big four-eyed turtle have something to say about my nurturing?
Give me that shit. Yeah, it almost gets to blows, but then that egg starts hatching, Steve. It's rolling. It's like Jurassic Park. They're there at the perfect time in jail. I don't feel like that's a great way to come into the world, but this egg starts hatching, Steve. We see a couple of Filberts. We see one or two of the cat lady babies. And then, oddly enough, we see one that looks like Hef and Filburt mixed together. And I'm wondering, did Hef get in the mix here at one point? Was there like some infidelity going on? Maybe that's where the friction with Filbert's happening, Steve.
Filbert's wife gets them out of jail with her hook hand. I don't know. It's so random that she has a hook hand.
She's a surgeon, Steve. Basically, it's already there. She's just the disinfect. But the bastard son, the one that kind of looks like Hef, starts just chasing Rocko around. And that's how we end the episode. Rocko, he's not here for any of this kid stuff, Steve. He's a bachelor.
Are you my daddy? Looking ass.
Can somebody get this thing? That's how I am around kids. I'm like, can somebody get this?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable. Wait, it wants me to pet it? What the fuck?
Am I supposed to do here?
But also in 1996, Leanne Rimes would release her debut album, Blue. In that following year, 1997, Four Little Girls premieres, a documentary of the notorious racial terrorist 1963 bombing by the Ku Klux Klan of the African-American 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham during the Civil Rights Movement, which killed 4 young girls, directed by Spike Lee.
It's a heartbreaking movie. I never saw this. Like, I feel like obviously you and I came from the same educational system, but this should be something that you obviously watch. It was coming out in 97, so this was right when we got into high school. So maybe it wasn't going to happen like that, but it gives you some historical context. It's a great documentary by a great filmmaker, but man, is it a fucking... I didn't know about this story until I saw this, probably sometime in the like mid 2000s, and it's heartbreaking, dude, because like it's like it's a lot of interviews with like the family and stuff, and it's just such a stupid fucking thing, and such a... I mean, it was kids in Sunday school.
Yeah. It's a reminder of how crazy the times were back then.
I saw an interesting interview where obviously like Spike Lee was doing a lot of press and stuff when this came out. But they were interviewing one of the dads of the victims and talking about how, like, if he was comfortable with who they chose to make the movie. And he had a really great answer about it just seemed like fate and it was supposed to happen. But I mean, I couldn't think of a better filmmaker to make this also, to be honest with you. I just thought that was an interesting question that was raised.
Well, Spike Lee actually reached out to him in the early 80s before he was a known name, and the father declined at the time. But then, like, over the years, he realized how much research Spike Lee had done on this very issue, and he was like, you know what? I think he would do it justice.
Well, he did. But it is, I mean, it's obviously going to be a tough watch, but you got to watch it. It'd be nice if they taught shit, like gave some historical context of this kind of stuff, where it's not just like this rose-colored glasses shit that we got.
It would have been great. Yeah.
Way worse than now, honestly, if you think about it. But it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like we had talked about gun violence in this episode and racism in this, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of heartbreaking. That's most of that shit's just, it hasn't gone away. It's gotten worse in a lot of cases. So
this was actually the precursor to the civil rights movement. Some people say that this was a big reason that led to it.
It takes tragedy to make shit happen sometimes, but fuck, dude.
In 1999, American Pie premieres. 4 teenage boys enter a pact to lose their virginity by prom night. Directed by Paul Weitz, starring Jason Biggs, Chris Klein, Natasha Lyonne, Thomas Ian Nicholas, Tara Reid, Mina Savari, Allison Hannigan, and Eugene Levy.
This was it, Steve.
It was.
We were trying to see Shannon Elizabeth tease, Rookie of the Year eat some pee, even the Band Geek. I was just a horny kid, though, so I was just like ready for a movie like this where it was just like pretty sexualized. We were teens, some titties in this. This was exactly what our lives were, basically, just trying to get some puss.
This was the movie that spoke to our generation because we, like you said, we're teenagers at the time, and dude, we were walking hard-ons constantly. Yeah. But in the 70s, they had Animal House. In the 80s, they had John Hughes and Porky's. The 90s, this was for us, man. And who would have thought Allison Hannigan would thrive more than these other hotties in the movie? I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah. It. I mean, honestly, I've heard about Tara Reid, but for bad reasons. And I think Shannon Elizabeth, the only thing I've heard about her is maybe she's making a bunch of money on OnlyFans. I don't even know who the other one is.
Mina Savari, I forgot. She was in American Beauty.
Yeah, okay. That tracks. I mean, this was it, man. This is a funny movie. We got Stifler out of this. We got Stifler's hot-ass mom out of this. So if you're into MILFs, you got a little bit of that action, too. And I even like the guy who got to fuck Stifler's mom. That guy was cool. They killed all the guy casting, for sure. Like, we even got Rookie of the Year. You know, we got him in here. And Jason Biggs, he was an unknown, but he killed it. He was the nerd.
Yeah. The kid in King Arthur's Court, he's apparently the clit master. And Sean William Scott, this was the one that broke him, man.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Stifler got, they made more of these, I think, because of Stifler. And then he popped for a while. I mean, he was in that movie with like The Rock and Chris Walken. Yeah. He's been in a lot of, you know, I dig Stifler, dude. I love fucking road trip and shit.
He stole the show on this, man. And I feel like we knew each of these people.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Definitely.
In high school.
Yeah. And that's why
they covered the trope.
Great. They figured it out. They wrote it perfectly. They cast it perfectly. And then they just marketed it to be an R-rated comedy. So all the horny kids that were of age to go to an R-rated movie were going to go see this. And everybody that was like beating it to scrambled Playboy channel, we were all there for it, Steve.
Paul Weitz, you got us.
I mean, how many of these did they end up making? Because they did 2, and then I think they did another one, and I think they got married, and Lord knows. But shout out to Shannon Elizabeth, because for a while, dude, I was just infatuated with that.
I'm sure she's still gorgeous, but no talent. That's why she's doing OnlyFans.
I guess there's some talent there, Steve. And she's held it up physically, so shout out. But I would say, honestly, Steve, Natasha Lyonne, more than the Bandcamp chick. I think Natasha Lyonne's probably had a more prolific career. We're talking numbers. She's still relevant now. I mean, she's playing the same character that she played in the 90s, just like that sort of like sarcastic, she's one of the bros, like cool chick. smoke some cigarettes with.
You brought a valid point. I forgot about her completely, man. Natasha Lyonne, she had a very successful show. I can't remember the name of it. I don't know if it's still going, but
Doll or
it
something like that. The time travel one. Or no, that's the one where she was like, she could detect lies, right? That.
Yeah, I just know she was in it, and it was critically acclaimed.
But I mean, this made everybody in this movie, you know? Chris Klein wasn't going to do shit, but he had a bunch of movies. He was in some funny stuff after this. Thomas Ian Nichols got to munch some box on screen. So is it a great movie, Steve? I don't know. But is it our movie? Absolutely.
Russian Doll. That's what I was thinking of.
It's a good show. You should check it out.
Also in 1999, Arlington Road premieres. A man begins to suspect his neighbors are not what they appear to be, and their secrets could be deadly. Directed by Mark Pellington, starring Jeff Bridges, Tim Robbins, Joan Cusack, Hope Davis, Robert Gossett.
This movie kind of got swept under the rug. I did a little research because I remember loving this because I saw it randomly. I think I might have bought it randomly or rented it. It's a great movie, dude. I don't like Tim Robbins. He's a great villain. Jeff Bridges, I would assume it would be cast in reverse, Steve, but they both kill it. And this makes me second guess my philosophy on Tim Robbins.
You're lying to yourself, Matt. Secretly, deep down, you're a fan.
Why? Yeah,
you know,
saying it's bullshit because I love Shawshank. Exactly. And I love Jacob's Ladder. And I love this.
And the movie where he was running for president, or he was president.
Oh, yeah. Nothing to Lose also, Steve, with Martin.
Nothing to Lose. But there was the other one I'm trying to think of. We covered it.
Yeah. I can't think of it right now. But this movie, I'm just going to give some other background info on this. So the guy who directed this, Steve, you want to know some other things he directed? The Jeremy video for Pearl Jam. So for us, pretty big. And he also directed, I don't know if you watched this, there was a cool horror movie called The Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere. He directed that.
I remember. Bob Roberts.
Yeah, but this actually got shelved for a while because it's got a pretty wild ending, and it deals with a lot of like extreme like terrorism and domestic terrorism and stuff like that. And I guess it got shelved because of Columbine for a while.
Yep.
And so it already had to struggle to get released. But to me, man, this movie's pretty freaking awesome, dude.
What wasn't it the Oklahoma City bombing too, or was it both? Or
it probably was both, because basically what they were interviewing the director, and he's like, it's not necessarily about like violence with kids or guns. It's just because there was just like this frantic like fear of all of that stuff, Oklahoma City. And even in this movie, like they show like Ruby Ridge footage and other like domestic terrorism, like bombings and stuff. So they deal with it heavily. Jeff Bridges' character is somebody who lost his wife to, I think, a Ruby Ridge style terrorist thing. So now he's with some younger lady and teaching domestic terrorism classes at a school. He's kind of like, just like Joe everybody. This guy moves in, it's Tim Robbins, and he just gets the bug up his butt where he's like, something's up with this dude.
Being nosy, sticking his, man. And he fucked around and found out, man. This is a reminder that, hey, mind your own damn business. If you minded your own damn business, Jeff Bridges, you wouldn't have got blown up in the parking garage. And Tim Robbins, man, from doing this show, I'm realizing I'm a fan because, like I said, Bob Roberts, he was in Susan Sarandon.
So that movie of the baseball movie, Steve. He was the pitcher in that movie where Sarandon blew the players to make them better players.
Bull Durham.
Yeah, there you go, Koss. He was
Dead Man Walking.
Yeah, I'm in it.
Nothing to lose.
I just like to talk shit. We get in here, I get loose-lipped, I say things I don't mean sometimes. And to Tim Robbins, you're a gem, dude. You're a gem. This is proof. Because honestly, the end of this movie it's perfect. I don't like happy endings, And this one, you think Jeff Bridges is losing it. And he is being nosy. He looks at some blueprints he shouldn't. Then he looks at this picture where the blueprints are hidden. He just keeps digging on shit. And he gets in his head that this dude is actually another dude who's a sort of domestic terrorist that's living in his neighborhood. And you know who else is great in this movie? Joan Cusack.
I was just going to say that. Joan Cusack, she's scary. She's so evil. She's nasty. I won't fuck.
And she's down for the cause because she's in here like of enabling Tim Robbins' character to just terrorize Jeff Bridges to the point where at the end, Jeff Bridges gets blown the fuck up and Tim Robbins is just watching it happen like, told your ass. The end.
Mastermind. And then him and his wife, Joan Cusack, they plot on the next city. We selling the house and we gonna do it again. Like, I'm very anti-government myself. So again, I kind of feel like the antagonist is kind of like not that bad of a person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had some bad shit happen to him and then that begets some other bad shit. I'm not saying two negatives make a positive, but this guy gives a strong argument. Just like Malkovich gives a strong argument. It's very. I hear where you're coming from, Steve. I don't want to say it plainly out there because I don't want to get somebody visiting us, but I get it. We're here with. We're here.
Stealing identities, like, okay, I'm not really cool on that, but I'm really on the government thing. Like, F the government. Like, you kind of got me right there, Tim.
Well, I mean, Tim Robbins in this movie, he's stealing identities from dead people. This is a victimless crime. He found somebody that died and just stole their identity. So, I mean, is it kind of scummy? Sure. But, you know, he didn't kill a guy to get an identity. He just was like, oh, this guy died. I'm Johnny Fuck a lot or whatever.
Yeah, that's convenient. I fucks with you, Mr. Mystic River.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's another banger. It's a heartbreaking movie to watch, but that's another banger, Steve.
I'm trying to tell you, he's a straight up G. Oh, yeah. Also in 1999, the final episode of Two of a Kind. But what are your takeaways this week?
Man, I didn't really have anything prepared, but since it was just shown to me in the light of day, Tim Robbins, hey man, you're in the upper echelon now. You've crossed over. You're in the positive side.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Oh yeah, Susan Sarandon's though. Susan Sarandon, and he got prime Susan Sarandon,
and he got that hottie in Jacob's Ladder that was like that hot like Latina chick. I can't remember. I can't track. You know who I'm talking about. She was in fucking Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins might be a prolific D slanger as well. Susan Sarandon could tell us.
Speaking of which, I forgot. Talking about Jungle Fever, he was in that too.
Yeah, Tim. I gotta just like kind of think about my life after this, Steve. I gotta go downstairs and just maybe sit in the shower and just cry for a little bit and just feel sorry for myself. I'm never gonna be Tim Robbins. Why would I say anything negative about him? Why?
Yeah. And something I've learned from watching that movie, don't snitch. Mind your own damn business. Don't snitch. All right. You know, if your neighbor is plotting against the world, you let him do his one too. You know,
you should have no interaction like this with your neighbors. Here's what you do with your neighbors. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, it's hot. And then you go in your house and you shut the fuck up because I don't need to go in and start looking at blueprints on your desk and be like, hey man, like, why are you pinpointing structural defects in this building? Like it's crazy, Steve.
Yeah, dude.
Jeff Bridges was actually the villain in the movie. He's just a nosy neighbor, dude. Chill the fuck out.
Exactly, man. Like it's great that, you know, adulting is good for stuff like this. You could see stuff for what it is, and it's just not let Hollywood tell you the narrative.
Yeah. Let's not get it twisted, you guys. If you go into somebody's house and you see a blueprint, keep walking. Say less. Think about nothing else other than maybe what free food you're going to get. Maybe they got some good treats like a little edible. I've gone over some neighbor's house, so you get surprised. You get a free edible, you go about your business. You don't get
Simple.
blown up in a parking garage.
And that's all I got. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, I sit alone in my four-corner room staring at candles. Check out Food Show Fanatics as well as Crushgasm, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok, and Splat Attack. This is Steve G and Mad G.
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s.